we are live. Welcome everybody to our live Monday here on YouTube and on Facebook. My name is Laura Cantu, and I'm really happy to be back with you guys for yet another live stream. Today, I will be sharing a very important topic with you guys. I will be sharing what the role of a parent is throughout the college admissions process and honestly throughout the whole education process. I will be explaining what the parent's role is in their child's education. So what it is that parents should be doing at every point, whether it is that your student is currently in middle school, high school, maybe elementary school, even in college. I will be sharing the most important roles that you as a parent should be playing or partaking in during this really formative and an important process and parts of your child's life, because our goal is to help you parents, help your students get accepted into the right colleges with scholarships. So this presentation is going to kind of dive into that and explain what it is that parents should be doing to help their children. Because of course, the college admissions process for a student, there's going to be responsibilities that are just solely the student's responsibilities, right? That is going to be studying, taking tests, preparing for standardized tests, preparing for pop quizzes, filling out those college applications, writing those college essays. All of that is obviously a student's responsibility. We don't encourage parents, doing the student's homework or writing students' essays, but there are particular processes that happen in a child's education and college planning journey that should be solely the parent's responsibility, or there are processes that are, kind of like a team effort, and it should be the parent and the student working together in order to achieve, success. And what is success? Well, success is different for every student. Here at Best College Aid, we believe that in order for students to be successful when it comes to college, students have to find the right college, the right university for them, the college that is going to offer everything that is going to be best for the students. So that is going to be different and look different for every student. So just wanted to clarify that and put that out there. That's the topic that we're sharing today. But before we begin, obviously, I want to encourage you to subscribe, follow us, and stay tuned to all of our social media channels. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. On Tuesdays, we do go live on Instagram and TikTok at this same time as today, 7:15 Eastern Time. And if you want to see all of the content that we share in all of our social media platforms, I do encourage you to follow us and to stay tuned and to just, give us a follow, or maybe share our page with another parent, another student who might be interested in learning these type of tips, this type of information, because we do know that there's a lot of people that need this information, a lot of people that would benefit from tips like this. So definitely share it with somebody who might need it. And of course, before we begin, as I usually like to let you know, we do have more information additional to all the tips that we do share in these live streams. We have a free webinar where we go over the 6 steps to go to college with scholarships. So make sure that you register for that free training, you watch it, and that you really take advantage of it, because this free webinar that we have created for you guys is to help you all. And there's no cost to register. It's just an additional resource that we want you guys to have in order to navigate this college admissions, high school, middle school process, that journey to college correctly, and what it is that you as a student or you as a parent should be doing in order to achieve, your child, or if you're the student going through the journey, in order to achieve what it is that you should achieve to find success, right? Because as I said in the beginning of the presentation, success, or, getting to college with scholarships is going to be different for every student. Not every student is going to go to the same school. There are over 3,000 colleges and universities in the United States, and every school is different. Every school has to offer something different for students. It's not just the same majors, the same minors, the same extracurriculars. Every school is very, very different. So our goal here at Best College Aid is to help you, help your student find the right school for them. And in order to get to that point, students and parents, you guys have to know what it is that the student wants, have an idea of what the student wants. I mean, I'll go more into detail on this as we go along with this presentation, but keep that in mind. In order for your student to get to the right college that is going to offer, the right academic programs, the right scholarship award packages, and the right extracurriculars, the student has to know what it is that they want, or at least have an idea of what it is that they want, whether it is in an extracurricular sense, if they want to be, D1 athletes, student athletes, whether it is that they want to go to a conservatory and maybe eventually try Broadway or off-Broadway shows, or whether it is that they know that they definitely want to be in the medical field, but maybe they don't really know specifically what they would want to do, but they do know that they want to either be a doctor or a surgeon. As long as the child knows that, it's going to make the process so much easier. And that's kind of how we help our students inside of Best College Aid. We help them find the right fit for them and help them, use strategies that not only are going to help them get to the colleges that they should be at or the best options for them, but also try to get there with the highest amount of scholarships and financial aid as possible, all right? So that's just a little bit about me, about Best College Aid. If you're interested in learning more about what we do offer inside of Best College Aid, inside our membership, at the end of this free training, we do go over what we offer inside our membership. So you can register, watch the free training, learn the free tips, and then stay till the end and learn what it is that Best College Aid offers and see if it's the right fit for you and if it's something that you want for your family, because it is a family membership. All right, but with that being said, why don't we go ahead and start today's presentation? What is the parent's role in their child's education? What should parents be doing throughout the child's journey, educational journey, whether it is that your student is in middle school, high school, starting high school, finishing high school. Maybe they're about to start their senior year of high school. Maybe they're already in college. What is the parent's role in this journey, right? So let's begin with the first tip or the first piece of advice that I have for you. In the United States, the USA, well, it's known that this is a country that rewards merit, right? And this is not only seen, in sports. It's not only seen in, maybe like the films. If there is an award-winning film that, like the Oscars, and if they do a great film that wins a bunch of awards, that is all. That's just an example. But this type of process and this type of merit rewards or awards, you can also see it inside of the college application process and high school, middle school, etc. These systems are in place to track a person's effort, right? In the US, there's a lot of systems that are in place to track a person's effort, a team's efforts, a company's efforts. You can see this in things such as credit scores. If a person is responsible, if they know their finances, and if they start, being responsible from a young age, they get a good credit score, and that can be rewarded in many, many ways. There's also educational requirements that maybe employers are looking for in order to give jobs to people, right? There are jobs that need some sort of educational, education, or there are requirements that must be fulfilled in order for certain people to get specific jobs, right? There's also professional licensing exams for people who might want to become a realtor or people who might want to go into a specific field. There are processes that people have to go through. And once they achieve that process, once maybe they pass that final exam, they finish that training, they will have the opportunity to get that professional license. And same thing with college, right? Or with med school, let's say a student who wants to become a surgeon, a neurosurgeon, has to go through years and years of training, years of schooling, exams, in order to be awarded that position of neurosurgeon and to be able to practice this skill. So a lot of systems in the United States do work through merit and are based on merit. And we see that too in school, in high schools, in the college application process. When it comes to standardized tests, colleges will, a lot of the times, if they do require SAT or ACT exams, colleges want students who have, not all colleges, but if a student has a higher SAT or a higher ACT score, most of the time, unless it's a school that maybe doesn't focus as much on standardized tests, maybe they want more of a well-rounded student, which a lot of colleges do. But if a student also had all those other things, was really responsible, worked really hard, most likely they're going to get rewarded with an acceptance letter. So just wanted to share that with you in case you didn't know that the United States is a country that rewards merit. And that can also be seen, as I mentioned, in the college admissions process and educational process, high school, middle school, elementary school, sports, college sports, high school sports, etc. Now, let's talk about my second piece of advice for you. And it's that a college education is a highway to demonstrating high merit, right? As I mentioned earlier, when a big benefit or a big example of merit is a lot of jobs, a lot of employers do require students to have a college degree, or might prioritize students who finished a college degree and maybe got some internship opportunities, because when students do go to college, a lot of colleges do have internship programs for students to try to get an internship while studying, or right the summers after junior year, sophomore year, maybe the summer right after college, and most jobs will probably prioritize a student who went through all of that and was able to achieve all of that, rather than a student that maybe didn't finish high school. So we can see it, the benefits of a college education, and how it can be a highway, how it can be a step towards demonstrating high merit, right? So with that being said, another important thing to note is that the merit of getting a college education, a college degree, can mean that, and this is a real statistic by the Bureau of Education, it is that the merit of getting a college degree means an average of $1 million more in lifetime earnings than a student who doesn't pursue a college degree, that maybe just graduates from high school. So on average, a student who, gets a college degree, gets a college education, can earn up to $1 million more in their lifetime than a person who doesn't get or did not receive a college education, did not receive a college degree, and maybe just earned a high school degree, right? And that is such a big example of merit, right? And how it works when it comes to education, how it works when it comes to, I guess, the benefits of receiving a college degree, and that is higher lifetime earnings. It's the Bureau of U.S. Labor Statistics. That's where those numbers are from, and you guys could look it up if you want to. But yes, it's incredible, because a lot of people don't know that. A lot of students, have told me that they're not going to go to college because they think they have a job already and they get paid really well. But what they don't know is that, maybe fresh out of college, your student might be making the same or similar to what a student who just graduated high school. But as both people progress, having that college degree, is going to be more helpful in getting maybe a higher paying job or getting promoted. Whereas a person who did not receive a college degree, unless they become entrepreneurs and start their own companies and become billionaires, usually, a job, a part-time job or a full-time job that does not require a college degree, most of the times, I'm not saying all jobs, are not going to be in the long run and in lifetime earnings is not going to make them as much money than a person who did receive a college degree, right? So that's just some numbers and some examples of merit, right? Of how earning a college education is going to be rewarded financially. All right, so what's the next point that we have for you? That's the financial aspect. Now, parents, where do you come in? Well, parents play a crucial role in their children's education. And as I said earlier, this doesn't mean, and we're not trying to say that parents should be filling out those college applications, writing those essays, writing those supplemental essays, because that is not what we're saying here. There are other responsibilities that parents have, and that parents have even from the moment when the student is in elementary school, middle school. There are things that my parents did when I was as young as 6 years old that helped me in the long term, land a scholarship, get accepted into the right college. What did my parents do when I was little? Let me share that with you real quick. When I was 6 years old. I was in elementary school. My parents knew that I loved to dance. So I was enrolled in dance lessons since I was little. And I always had, I love to perform. So there was recitals, there was singing lessons that I also took when I was little. So when I got to high school, I had always been interested in doing theater. So the moment that I got to high school, I decided to try out for the theater program, the musical theater program specifically, because I was interested in the singing and dancing. So my background and the fact that my parents had enrolled me in those type of classes, dancing, singing, since I was really, really young, it helped me because I had a foundation. I didn't have the acting foundation because I never took acting lessons, but that came with time. And once I auditioned and I got into shows, my teachers in high school helped me get better, and that eventually did help me get a theater scholarship for college. So I got to go to college and minor in theater, get a scholarship for it, and continue to do what I loved, which was theater. So my parents, they didn't take the theater classes with me. They didn't teach me how to act, how to dance. They just provided me with the tools that I needed in order to eventually, once I got, because they knew that I loved to act and to sing and to perform. And instead of being like, no, you're going to play a sport, no, you're going to do swimming, or you're only allowed to do this, they encouraged me and they listened to me. And, eventually I did get to continue to do theater in college, and hopefully I will continue to do it as a part-time thing or as a side thing, because I do love it. Even now that I'm out of college and I am graduated 3 years ago, it's still something that I love and I enjoy, and something that helped me get a scholarship for college and helped me fund my education. So, and that's how my parents played a vital role. But let's get more specific, right? Now I'm actually going to explain what the parents' role in their child's education really is, give you more specific examples, right? So one of the parents' role in their child's education is obviously emotional support. That in the example that I just shared with you, my personal example of my parents enrolling me in theater lessons, in dance lessons and singing lessons from a young age. They were very supportive. They would go to my recitals. They listened to me. That communication was there since I was 6 years old, right? So that was something that was super helpful. Listening to their child's goal. That's exactly what I just said. They listened to what I wanted. And I'm not the only example of my parents giving emotional support and being good listeners. My siblings were also, going through the process of finding an extracurricular activity, finding their passions. And my older brother, David, he went to college as a D1 athlete. He managed to get a swimming scholarship of $8,000 per year to swimming college. And this was thanks to the fact that since he was also very young, 5, 6, 7 years old, my parents asked him what sports did he like. He always said he wanted swimming. And ever since he showed interest, my parents enrolled him in a private swim club, and he swam ever since. He swam competitively. He represented his high school team. In high school, he went to, I think it's called states. And he was able to become faster every year because he was part of the high school team. And my parents also invested in him being in a private swim team that would go compete all over the country, all over Florida. And, doing all of this, getting better, investing in the coaches, and David also investing his time and dedication to getting better eventually led to a very, very good scholarship. And to him doing what he loved, which was swimming, which was something that he showed a passion that he really, really talked to my parents about, and he really demonstrated that he was passionate about it, and he went to college with that scholarship, right? So that's what I mean with emotional support. Parents, listen to your children. Don't think that, maybe if they want to play soccer, or they want to do musical theater or be in the marching band, all those things, soccer, musical theater, marching band, even video games. I'm not even joking. There are colleges that have esports programs, and students can get really great scholarships if they're obviously good enough to play sports in college and to join the esports team. And there's literally tournaments, college level tournaments, and students that get really, really high scholarships for playing this electronic sport, esports. So listen to your children. And if they don't really know what their passion is, help them explore it, right? Also, exploring careers, majors. Ultimately, your students is going to decide what it is that they want to do. It's up to them. But you as a parent can help them figure that out, right? You know them. You can give them some insight that maybe they don't really, at that age, they don't really know themselves to that level, and help them find something that they find, entertaining, not entertaining, but they're passionate about, but more in the career or the job sector, right? So how could you help them? How could you help your student do that, right? So if your student is interested in the medical field, or maybe if they're interested in business, if you have any friends, anybody who might be a doctor, who might be a business owner, maybe they work in finance, you could try to talk to them, set up a meeting, and just be very casual and tell them, oh, my child is demonstrating that they're really interested in studying being a dentist one day. Maybe you could talk to him, talk to her, just super chill, so that they can start getting an idea. Another great example of how this is actually a personal example. I managed to figure out what it was that I didn't want to do, even though I thought in the beginning that I really wanted to do it. I thought that I wanted to be a nurse for the longest time. And my mom actually encouraged me. She's the one that told me that there was a volunteering opportunity at a hospital that's down the road. And it was a volunteering opportunity for high school students. So she encouraged me to do it. She told me about it. I applied, and during my first 2 years of high school, freshman year and sophomore year, I would volunteer there weekly. And I was actually placed on the nurses' floor. And when I tell you that that experience and I was volunteering, but I was doing a lot of things, just being in that environment. And even though they were lovely and it was amazing to meet all patients and people from all over, I realized that nursing wasn't really my calling from what I experienced from those 2 years working there and seeing how taxing and the type of lifestyle that they had. And then I also realized that I don't really like needles and things like that. So I was like, yep, this is not for me. But who knows? Maybe if I wouldn't have done that, maybe if I wouldn't have volunteered at that hospital, if my mom wouldn't have told me about it, I probably would have applied to school to be a nurse, and maybe I would have changed my major, and I would have maybe wasted time or credits doing that instead of finding what I really wanted to do early on. So doing that actually was beneficial to me. So encourage your student to find an extracurricular activity, maybe a volunteer opportunity, research, talk to people that you may know if they are interested in different fields. If you have friends that might be working in those fields, to show them around, to let them know what it is that they do from the day to day, right? All right. Another responsibility that's solely a parent's responsibility, not solely, but it's mainly a parent's responsibility, is going to be financial planning, right? Unless the child is a dependent and they are applying to college as dependents and they are not getting, they're not filling out the FAFSA or the CSS profile with their parents' income statements, with their tax returns, all that, with the parents' basically financial records, then a lot of the information is going to come from the parent, right? So it's important that there's communication between your student and yourself, and try to talk about what it is, how it is that you as a parent can help your child pay for college, how it is that you can help them afford a college education. Because unfortunately, a lot of families don't have these conversations. Parents sometimes are not very transparent, or they just never happen to know that they should talk to their kids and say, listen, this is how much we make. This is, maybe we can take an estimate of our EFC. This is how we can help you financially when you go to college. This is the average amount of money we can give you per year, or maybe we cannot give you anything because we don't make that much. Because maybe a freshman in high school, somewhere in high school, might not know what their parents' financial situation. I sure did not know what my parents' financial situation was when I was starting high school, sophomore year, even junior year. That's when my parents kind of like talked to us, and they told us what it was, and we went through the process together, and it was really helpful. It was really eye-opening because it kind of taught me, okay, this is how my parents can help me. This is their financial status. And I was really glad that they shared it with me, because when I was looking for colleges, when I was creating my college list, I had those things in mind, and it helped me look for colleges that were going to be generous and that were going to be a good fit financially for myself, and that my look at a student in a financial situation such as mine, and maybe offer me more financial aid, more scholarships, which was eventually what happened. I basically got really great financial aid packages along with my theater scholarship, and as well as my academic and leadership institutional scholarship that I got from the school that I was accepted, which was Marist College. So all those things matter, and taking all those things into consideration is, it's going to make the biggest difference. So that is another responsibility. The final responsibility goes kind of hand in hand with this financial planning, and it is filling out college forms, especially those related to providing financial information. Again, unless your child is applying to college, or a student, if you're watching this, unless you're applying to college as a independent, you're going to be needing the parents' financial information. You're going to be needing those tax returns. You're going to be needing, information that comes directly from your parents, whether it is that it's only mom who works, only dad who works, or both the mom and dad works, or maybe you live with your grandparents, whoever your guardian is, whoever it is that you are dependent on, the student depends on, that information is going to be needed. And it's going to be important that as a parent, as a guardian, you are helping your student fill out those forms, because a mistake on the FAFSA, a mistake on the CSS profile can cost the student thousands of dollars in financial aid. And I know that I'm going to hear, well, my family makes too much money for the FAFSA. Well, we don't qualify for the FAFSA because, we both mom and dad work, and we do pretty well. It's still important to fill out this form. The FAFSA, remember, is not only used for federal aid. A lot of colleges do need it to award institutional aid. Some colleges do need it to award, some states need it for state aid. And even though there's state aid programs, state scholarships that have their own process of filling out financial aid forms, the FAFSA will be used for a lot of other things that rather than just that federal aid. So don't think that because maybe your student didn't qualify for federal aid, that it wasn't worth filling out that FAFSA, because maybe the college that they were accepted to, or they might get accepted into, might need it in order to award merit-based institutional aid, which, by the way, institutional aid is financial aid that is awarded by the colleges and the universities. And this can be merit-based, which we talked about earlier, but it can be academic merit, based on academic merit. So having good grades, having good SAT scores, maybe leadership, merit based on leadership. Maybe the student was part of SGA, part of NHS. Maybe they were the president, which I was the president of NHS. And that's kind of what helped me get a institutional scholarship for leadership. So this was awarded by Marist College to me. So it was part of my financial aid award package. So all these things are things that you as a parent should be helping your student with, right? And also my parents, another thing that they did, this is a bonus tip. My parents helped me because when I got accepted into Marist, I got a really good financial aid package, but I needed just a little bit more money in order for it to be a full ride. So my parents guided me through the process of reconsideration, filling out, it wasn't a form, it was an email. And I had to basically write a letter, and my parents helped me do that in order to ask for more money and in order to get more money to basically afford that school. So that was another thing that my parents did for me. So that's another thing that maybe you could do for your child and will do, because they will get accepted. Well, hopefully they'll get a full ride to begin with, or maybe they'll get a really, really great financial aid package that makes college super affordable. But if it's, to the point where you just need a little bit more in order to be, on the budget, or a full tuition scholarship, whatever it may be, there are also strategies to get a higher financial aid package, or try to get one at least, to ask the school for more money. And that's something that my parents did to help me. So that was those were the parents' roles in their child's education. And finally, I know that I mentioned it in the beginning, but I do see more people joined. We have a free webinar on the 6 steps to go to college with scholarships. So don't forget to register for our free training, the 6 strategies to help your children get accepted into college with scholarships. The link to this video, the link to this training is in this video's description. I know that on Facebook, David shared it in the comments, because I do see a lot of people on Facebook. So don't forget to register. It's a great training. It's a great resource that we created just for you, because we do want, just to put more information out there, more resources for parents and students to really take advantage of, and to help their children and take advantage not only of the resources, but also know what opportunities are out there for your child. Because as I mentioned, there's over 3,000 colleges and universities, and at least one of them is the right one for your students. So we do go over that in the free training that I've shared with you, that free webinar. And we do go over also the 6 strategies to go to college with scholarships. We share more information on the different types of financial aid available for students in the United States, such as federal aid, private scholarships, and private aid. We also go over institutional aid and state aid. So if you want to learn about that, or if you just want to learn all the other strategies that we do share in that training, register, completely free. It's going to be super, super helpful, okay? And well, there you have it. That was the presentation that I had prepared for you guys today. These were the parents' role in their child's education. What is your role as a parent in your child's education? So hopefully this was very informative. Hopefully this helped. And if you have any questions, don't forget to comment them down below. And remember that we are going to be live tomorrow on here it is, on Instagram and on TikTok at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. So it's the same time as today, just tomorrow. So if you want to join us for that, Francisco will be doing that live stream. So hopefully you can join and you can take advantage of those tips that Francisco will be sharing with you guys. And well, thank you so much for watching. My name is Laura Cantu, and I hope you have an amazing, amazing Monday and a great week. I'll see you later.